from the NewsChannel 5 network. This is Score on Business.
Hey, welcome to Score on Business. I'm Pete Hendricks and your host for today. Score wants to see entrepreneurs and small businesses succeed. So check out scorenashville.org. There are so many resources for you. So let's get to our first guest. Mila Grigg is founder of MODA Image and Brand Consulting, a firm that focuses on assisting executives and companies with their personal and corporate brand.
Yes.
Thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me.
So tell us about a client you've worked with and what you're able to help them achieve.
Yeah, we work with clients, from universities to Fortune 500 companies, and I have to say, along that trek, one of my favorite clients and favorite group of people ever has been at the Tennessee Center for Health Workforce Development, and their division of the Tennessee Hospital Association, and they help. So that's
private.
It is.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes. Yeah. And they helped to place. Their initial mission was helping place rural doctors, primary care physicians in rural or underserved areas. It's such an incredible organization and one of the only, if not the only one in the nation. So what we came in and did really was a brand audit to see how they were sharing their stories, who was hearing, who wasn't hearing. They weren't placing as many doctors as they would like to have placed. And so we came in and did a brand audit and said, how are you sharing your stories? What is your mission, vision, value statement? Why do you guys do what you do? Sort of a la Simon Sinek, start with why. Why do you guys do what you do? And then help them to completely rebrand that division. And so that everything from employee training to the why statement to getting all of the employees on board, helping everybody to be in the right spot within the organization, and then helping them to share the stories outside of into the public where people needed to know who they were.
So, and kind of a summary of that would be you helped them come up with the right message and then made sure everybody was on board so that it wasn't just something the CEO came up with. It was something that everybody really understood.
Yes, of course. The team was a part of building that why, so they were so excited about it. And then, helping them to share the story via social media channels and the website, the logo, everything, all the messaging.
So wise. You include people in the process and they buy in.
If you don't, they don't buy in. We wonder why millennials, we have poor millennial retention. You don't buy into a brand, you're sunk.
Exactly. Okay, so what is a brand?
It's the overall view that somebody has of you as an individual or a corporation. So you have to ask yourself, what does somebody see when they see you? What do they hear? What do they feel when they see you? Jeff Bezos, for a personal brand, would say Jeff Bezos taking over the world with Amazon would say it's what people say about you when you're not in the room. When you've walked out the room. For a corporation, it's their message. It's everything that somebody thinks, feels, and sees when they see a product or a service. And it's a feeling that somebody gets. It's why you like certain product, like a Nike over an Adidas, or I want to hire you versus somebody else. It's overall brand. It's a feeling that somebody has about someone or something. Okay,
and then that's marketing can be a tool for how you get that message out. But the brand is differentiated.
Sure. So think of brand as an umbrella, and brand drives everything under that umbrella. So that's marketing, that's sales, that's advertising, that's logos, websites, and for a human, it's your emotional intelligence, it's self-awareness, it's how you dress, how you talk, the tone of your voice. All of those things are underneath that branding umbrella.
Now, are you all doing much branding with individuals these days?
Yes. Absolutely. The company was founded helping individuals and then grew into the corporate sector.
And so the individuals would be executives, entrepreneurs, people who really want to go somewhere. Tell us a little bit about that.
Super exciting. So I personally hate when someone is missed for an opportunity that they should have based upon their experience and their passion. So, working with executives for about 18 years now, I have met so many people who say, gosh, I should be here, but I'm here and I don't know why I haven't been able to sneak over to where my goals are, my purpose. And in working with an individual, most of the time the messages that they're sending are incorrect. and they don't even know that they're sending them, right? So working with the Fortune 5 C-suite officers, they're going, how do I get to that place? Well, you have to have an executive presence, and you have to know how to share your story. And if you want to be seen as intelligent, then you have to have the right words and the right stories. If you're in the financial sector as an individual executive, detail-oriented is probably a word you want people to associate with you. Do you look that way, act that way, talk that way? Are you consistent? And then are you sharing those stories on social media, LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, all of the channels in which the world can now see who an individual is? Yeah.
So, you know, when you talk about telling stories, I'm a big fan of that.
Yeah.
How much time do you spend helping people learn how to tell their story?
A ton of time.
Yeah.
I can't answer that more intelligently. A ton of time. It's more important than anything.
Yeah.
If somebody comes up to you in today's world and says, Pete, I'm really smart, you're like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Thanks for telling me that. Right? But the idea is you choose your core values. Like, how do you want people to perceive you when they see you, hear you, or read something you've written? And then you go, okay, here are my core values: intelligence, creativity, excellence, integrity. And you pick your words, and under each of those words, you should have 2 to 5 stories about yourself, personal stories that help to share those things versus, hey, by the way, did you know I'm really creative?
Yeah.
That's very boring. Nobody wants that.
You know, I think that I've spent a lot of time working on stories through the years, and I think humans see things through their eyes, but when you're putting these stories together, it's not your eyes that are important. It needs to be your message, but how to tell it to other people.
You got it. That's why corporations are failing and individuals are failing. The wrong story at the wrong time. And if you're not intentional about your story, other people will tell you who you are. Right. Building a brand is, this is who I am authentically. I'm not creating something that isn't real, and then I'm sharing it with the world. So people don't have to guess. Who are you? Tell me about yourself, right?
Yeah, because one thing I've seen through the years, people want to define someone, not necessarily being negative, but they want to, you know, in slotting the millions, the people they know in the world, they want to put them in a slot, and you want to be the one defining it.
Absolutely. If you're not, you'll fail.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah.
So what's the difference in personal and corporate brand?
You know, the idea of the two is the same. So the sort of the foundational feeling is the same. It's what somebody thinks about you as an individual, and it's what your consumers, colleagues, community think about a corporation. So it's all of those things combined. The difference really is a corporate brand has more room for error, right? A personal brand is what you see when you see me walking into Starbucks, on a soccer field, or at work with a colleague, or on a TV segment, right? And then a corporation has more room for failure because a corporate brand is felt through employee engagement. Do employees know what the corporate brand is? Most corporations fail because they go, here are our values, but it means nothing to the employee group.
Right.
So they have more room for error there. Then you have employees telling stories that are incorrect.
So what do you advise people to do to the executives so that the employees are involved?
Yeah, so develop your corporate brand, which is start with your why. Why are you in existence? Develop your mission, make it real, not silly or trite. Your mission means something. It gets people to buy into a brand. Your vision, your values, and once you've done that, then you have to share the stories to the employees for buy-in. Like Zappos will pay you to leave if you don't like their brand and culture, right? And Amazon is the same. Like, this is who we are. This is who we are. If you don't want to be a part of it, leave. Most corporations do not share their stories to their employees, and then they don't get buy-in, and then you have employees sharing the wrong messages to everybody, including themselves. They aren't communicating well. Like, your brand should be the filter for even how employees communicate with each other.
How much do you run into lack of consistency in sending the message?
99% of companies. Yeah.
Let's take a break, and we'll come back and talk more about this. Ladies and gents, we'll be right back.
Sounds good.